Hello and welcome back to FTB Infinity Expert Mode. I'm CZSurvivor and today we're going to be slaying some more dragons. Not for the shouts, but for the hearts. So let's head over to the end where we can start slaying them. Right, so here we are in the end. Let's resurrect you. Hello. Right, so here we go. Here goes the ritual, those are lightning strikes, and we should be able to kill the end dragon. So, the reason why there hasn't been an FTB video in a while is because, well, I just got bored of Minecraft and I had other games that I was more interested in. So I decided to just postpone it and play Rimworld, as you saw. I was also playing other games. Playing Rimworld meant there wasn't much to do in between episodes, which allowed me to play the other games that I wanted as well. Pretty easy without having to spend a lot of time on FTB. But we're back. I've really got an urge now to play it again, so that's why I'm playing it. And I thought, you know what, let's go slay some dragons because I want to do something new in it. And we need, well, dragons' hearts for it. So, whilst we wait for this to spawn, I'll be back. And there goes one. Now for 3 more. Let's give something else a try. This little bow that I made ages ago. That works. There goes the last one, which I slightly missed off camera. Oh well, that's all the dragons dealt with, and I do love this pile of dragon eggs we're collecting here. How many is that? 6? Let's keep these here, let's just tower it up. Sounds like a fun idea, and then maybe in the future I can create some silly thing with falling in the dragon eggs. Just tower them up. Maybe. We'll think about that. Right. Back to the base. So, our next step will be to set up the automation of using of the dragon hearts. So, that's what we're going to do. Right after, I've showed a few things that have changed from base. I've reworked the cabling over here, as you can see. It now allows a total of 128 channels over here, which is a nice amount, and it doesn't look too bad how it looks. This here looks separate to this, the way the cables are, but it works, and that's all that matters. And I've got something similar going over here, but I want to change this because I don't like the look of it, to be honest. And this one's going to need more because of, well, any interfaces. Lots of crafting. And I have done something with the milk, which I should have done a long time ago. I now have an autonomous activator that right clicks the cow, and apparently this ain't extracting fast enough. Really? You now have the cow in milk. I'm going to need to come up with a faster way to extract items out of here, but for now, it works-ish. Or I could come up with something to block the milk. Possibly. We'll think about that in the future. For now, let's get started on putting these hearts to use in this area here. I'm thinking of changing the design. This was something I was having a plan of, but yeah. Right. So this is what's got to happen. We have to drop the dragon heart on the ground, explode it, so aka TNT. Then we have to drop 16 cores on the ground, then place 4 charged Draconium, which means we need to sequence it right, and we need a timer for the TNT. If we have a look here, this is going to be interesting, to say the least. So, I was thinking of using Steve's factory measure, but does that actually have a timer mechanism in it? That is a question I need to check. If not, I could create a timer outside of it. Let's have a look. Let's just have a look at machine. Do we have something that could, other than creating an external timer, I don't see anything it could be an internal counter. Create a loop. Nah, I'll create an external timer using redstone. I think that's the easiest way to do it. So I'll be back once I come up with some sort of functional design. So, theoretically, this will work. I say the word theoretically. Theoretically, this should work. Once I set up the redstone to control this. So, basically, here, we're going to place the charged Draconium. Here, TNT is going to go, and it's going to be lobbed out down here somewhere. We'll have to keep this stocked with TNT, which is going to be a pain. I'm going to have to run a cable up here, yada yada yada. Here is where the, I forgot what they're called, Draconium cores will come out, and the heart will come out. And these will also break the, well, what I forgot what it's called. They become. I forgot what they're called. What's it called? Awakened Draconium. These will break the Awakened Draconium blocks. So the next step is to set up this functioning. So first off, we want to drop the heart. Now we're also going to need a chest around here. Ooh. And we're going to want input into here. Oh, this is fun. Right, do we want a chest there? Let me think about this, because I'm going to want an enemy pattern to tell them to craft this. I'm just going to think, what do I want constantly stocked here, and what do I not? So, a few little changes, and this is the pattern that we've got to create the Awakened Draconium. So the changes are, I've reworked this around, so now we have an item buffer here. So in here, the the Dragon Heart, the Dragonic Cores, and the Charged Draconium will go into here from the ME interface, and the TNT is automatically being stocked. We've got a nice stockpile here, 2 stacks and 1, which is good, and we can now try and come up with an idea to do this. So first off, we're going to need some conditions. We're going to need a condition to check that in this item buffer it has all those items, and then a second condition to check that there are no blocks on top of here, because if there's blocks on top of here, a crafting is taking process. Do not do anything. Simple. I think so. And then we're going to have to get into place here, and of course it starts raining. Of course the heavens open. I'll be back once I've programmed it ish. Yeah, be back in a sec. So I think I've got the code set up. Let's place this Awakened Draconium here. Right, so we should have 1 Awakened Draconium in. Good, that is good. That's the first sign that part of the code's working. So that proves that this part of the code here is working, which is basically just take from this block slot here, so this and all of them above the block gates, take Awakened Draconium and place it in that ME interface up there. So that works. The next bit is this thing on the left, this complicated thing. So we've got the trigger, then we've got the conditions. First one checks whether these slots are empty. Second one checks whether we have the items that we need in the thingy. Next, we take a heart out of here and drop it from here. Then, the next bit of the code here activates this emitter here, causing it to drop TNT. It then turns off the emitter, being the next step here. Then another emitter comes and turns off down here, activating the timer. The timer then activates, and whilst it's counting down, we also drop 16 Draconium cores here. Then 5 seconds later, after this timer, TNT takes 4 seconds, but in case there's some lag or something. I want to be on the safe side, especially with TNT. It shouldn't blow this up, but I don't want to waste the expensive hearts, is the main reason. So 5 seconds later, this will read, hey, we have a redstone signal. We then turn off, turn back on said emitter to turn off the timer, and then we output to these blocks charged Draconium. That's the plan. Does it work? I don't have a clue. We're going to test this live. Oh, why? Well, test this for the first time. Not live, but in front of you. You know as much as I do whether this is going to work. So, awakened Draconium. So we tell it to craft. There's the ingredients. Start. There's the heart. Okay. So it didn't work. One thing I have learned is I want to put a block here so the items fall directly down as well. So yeah, I'll try to figure out what just happened. Right, let's give this another try. So take 2, crafting recipe set. Okay, TNT ignited this time. Draconium? No, we're not. It's not dropped the... What's it not dropped? We're missing the cores. Hello? Yeah, I've realised what I've done wrong. So, I've recrafted everything. I've fixed the problem, I think. Let's have take 3. Oh no, I need some more stuff. Because it's in there. Yeah. Right. Take 3. Heart dropped. Oh yes, yeah, I forgot to reset one of the emitters. Yeah, that's because the thing didn't fully operate. One second. So, take 4. Maybe it'll work this time. Right, hearts dropped. TNT's dropped. TNT detonated. And the next segment hasn't activated. Why? Maybe this pulse ain't long enough. Maybe I need to make it pulse longer? Possibly. So, we have 2 changes now. One, I've added a repeater that lasts for 32 ticks, so that's a second and a bit. I've changed this timer to 4 seconds now because we've got such a delay on it. And then we've got here, we've got a trigger that checks every second whether there's a redstone signal here, which feeds into this. So now we should be ready to do it. I forgot what tick we are on, but let's give it a go. Drop it, TNT. Okay. So it didn't work. Why? I don't know. Here goes. One more try. This should work. Oh, let me just take this off because I have a terrible feeling that I'm going to magnet them. If so, oh, all the CPUs are in use. So here we go. This should work. Spits out the heart, drops the TNT. TNT detonates. And thing does not work. Okay, so we're going to give it one more try. This might work because should so far has not turned out to be true. So we drop the heart, we drop the TNT. Good. Then hello, atom valve. Question is, you're still in there. Okay. Now you should be picking up a redstone signal. You will not be if I don't remember to reconnect you. Oh. 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 This may have just worked. Oh, it worked. And it appears as if I've disconnected a few things. Like this needs that added to it. And I also need to add a condition before the redstone condition to check for what blocks are here. Check that there's no blocks, because at this current state bad things could possibly happen, but that should be functioning. So with the thing fully functioning, let me explain how it works properly now so everyone knows. So we've got our 3 triggers. We can ignore this one, that was my testing one, we can get rid of it. So as we know before, this is our collection trigger. This checks whether there's awakened draconium cores here, blocks, awakened draconium blocks. If there are, well, take them from here and stick them in the ME network. So left trigger. This trigger checks that there's no blocks here. Then we'll check, as we said before, whether it's got the items. It then says, well, this chest, well, this buffer is the input. We then go and output out of here a heart. We then tell the emitter for here to pulse for 10 ticks, deciding that was just a good number, which will activate the dispenser, spitting out a piece of TNT, which will land on top of the heart, and then ignite, which will then start this emitter, well, turn off this emitter down here, which will allow this timer to run. This timer will go whoop. Just had an idea, but I'm not going to change it. Hit this, switching the RS NOR latch around, and emitting to this redstone, not RS NOR latch, RS latch. It's not a NOR, I think. It's called RS latch. I'm thinking of regular redstone. And flicking that around. So this trigger here is waiting for there to be an output here. When there's an output here, 5 seconds have passed since the TNT was lit, meaning TNT has gone boom. Kick everything else into gear, which means it turns, which emitter is this? 78. Oh, it turns this emitter back on, yeah. Turns that emitter back on. Says these are your inventory is up there. It then outputs the cores out of here, sticking them on the floor. Then the charged draconium is spat here, and finally the emitter over here is pulsed to reset the RS latch, so no more of this operation occurs, and then it waits for the blocks and smashes them. And that's how it works. Nice and smoothly, nice and neatly, and I'm very proud of it. It is surprisingly functional. This may be compactable down smaller, I don't know, I just wanted to be safe, I didn't want to blow up anything expensive, basically. So yeah, so now that we got that done, let's see how long we've got. Actually, we've run out of time for today's episode now, so Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed. If you did so, hit that like button. Got any comments, questions, drop them down in the comment section below. I'll answer them if possible. New to the channel, hit that subscribe button to stay up to date, stay well, and Survivor out.